Hey guys, what's up? This is your daily homework helper. This is from lesson 6, level 5, lesson 6. This is compare decimal fractions to the thousandths using like units and express with greater than, less than, or equal to signs. Um, this lesson, what I've done is I've put up a split screen here. I've got two different things going on. One is the place value chart that we have over here. This is going to be helpful in getting your numbers compared and going place by place to find out which number indeed is the biggest. And this should be fairly easy. We'll rock through this one pretty quick, okay? Looking at it, they've already given you a couple little place value charts here, so you can use these ones. On these ones down here, we'll jump over to here. So show the numbers on the place value chart using digits, okay? Use greater than, less than, or equal to compare. Explain your thinking in the space to the right. All right, so this is going to be important then. Explain your thinking. Anytime it asks you to do something extra than just the basics, you're going to want to make sure you're doing it. So the first thing, the easiest thing to do is to make sure we're just putting the numbers in the correct place value. If you mess that up, you're going to mess the whole thing up, right? So 34 and 223 thousandths, or 34 and 232 thousandths. And then we're going to go and just compare each column, and starting on the left to see which one's bigger. If we start on the right, you don't really get a sense of the number. You're not getting a sense of how big the number can actually be. If I look over here and I'm like, oh, this one's 3, but let's say I had a number out here, 234, obviously this number is going to be bigger. So you really have to start on the left. So let's start all the way on the left and compare. These numbers are the same. They're both 3s. These, the numbers here in the ones place are both the same. They're both 4s. The numbers here in the tenths are the same. They're both 2s. The numbers in here, they're different. And the one number, on the bottom, the 3 is obviously bigger than a 2. So then at this point, you can just stop. You know that this one is bigger because, so I know 34 and 232 thousandths is bigger because the number in the hundredths column, this one has 3 in the hundredths column, whereas the other one only has 2. Okay, so because it has 3 100ths, while I would say the other number, while I'll just put it in here, 34 and 223 thousandths has 2 times 100 thousandths. Okay, we know that that one is bigger. Okay, let's take a look at this one on the bottom. We have 8 tenths and I have 706 thousandths. It's the same thing. I need to make sure they're getting right in the correct spots. So up here I have 8 tenths and down here I have 706 thousandths. If I treated these 8 tenths in for thousandths, I would have 800 of them. And the other thing you can say to yourself is, well, this is blank. I need to be able to compare this, all 3 digits to each other. So if there's nothing there, I'm just going to say that there's nothing there by putting a 0. And then just looking straight up at these numbers, you can probably tell that 800 is bigger than 706. But if you wanted to be precise about it, we can take a look at the exact place value in the columns. So this right here, they're the same. But this one right here, they are different. And this 8 is definitely bigger than a 7. So the reason I know that 8 tenths is bigger than 706 thousandths is because the 8 tenths has 8 in the tenths place, while the 706,000 only has 7 tenths, and that's what I would write out here. Okay. Okay. Let's delete. Let's move down. These ones we're just using greater than, less than, or equal to compare. We're kind of getting it quick. But what you can do is over here on the place value chart, and if you don't have one, you can draw one. It's easy just to go, okay, 16 and 3 tenths versus 16 and 4 tenths. Compare, compare, compare. This one's bigger, this one's bigger, this one's bigger. 83 hundredths. And that one is 83 hundredths. The same, the same, the same. These ones are equal. 205 thousandths. I'm going to start writing these smaller so I can use both at the same time. 205 thousandths. 205. The same. Bingo. This one is 95, so 95580. 95 and 580 thousandths, or 95 and 58 hundredths. Same thing. If I'm comparing, I want to compare all the way out. There's nothing here. I'm going to put my 0, and looking at that, I can tell that these are also all the same. Okay, we're just going to go place by place. If there's nothing there and you need to compare, one's bigger than the other because they're out in that column and there's nothing there, put a 0 to hold its place. But you have to just compare apples to apples, compare columns to columns, compare places to places. 9 and 1/10 versus 9 and 99 thousandths. Looking at these numbers, you wouldn't think that they're very, very close, but these are, aren't they? If I have 99 here and I add one more thousandth to it, I'm going to get a 1 here, and they're going to be the same number. So these numbers, while they don't look like it, are absolutely very similar, 99 to 100, right? I put in the zeros there because there was nothing there and I wanted to compare them. And I know that 100, 99, this one's bigger. I could do it by place, by column. I have a 1 here in a 10th and I have a 0 here in a 10th. So that number is definitely bigger. So 9 and 1/10 is bigger. Sorry, that was a bad. There we go. Yeah, that's a lot better than straight. How about we just do that? Let's just read the okay. 8 and 3/10 versus 83 tenths. 83 tenths. Guess what? They're the same. Awesome. And then the last one, 5 and 8/10 versus 58 hundredths. When you have something like that, you can be like, well, I know I have to go to the hundredths column. So I'll go to my hundredths column, and I'm going to write 58. So my 8's going to be there, and I have 58 of those. So there's nothing there. I got to put my 0 there to hold that, and I want to compare these two equally. But I mean, let's just start here with this column. I have 5, and here I have a 0. So that, I mean, that's it. It's over with. It's over. We have a winner. If I wanted to, I could put that there. I don't need to. I have a winner here. This one is definitely bigger here. It's also bigger in the tenths. Bigger in the ones, bigger in the tenths. So 5 and 8/10 is clearly the winner and definitely the bigger one. Okay. Okay. Let's keep scooching down here. Let's keep scooching down. Okay. Because I like to do these ones, these arranging in orders. It's all very similar, but at the same time, it can be tricky. The thing you need to do is, like if you had this space over here, is you should just take these numbers and go ahead and write them all on top of each other. Stack them up. Okay, and you're going to stack them up so that the decimal places are lined up, because that's going to allow us to compare the place value. Okay, these ones don't have anything on the end, so I'm going to go ahead and put zeros. I could just write those over here as well. 3, 0, 4, 9. If you have the place value chart handy and you want to do it this way, this is totally acceptable and also honestly very helpful. I just wrote them over here on the other side because that's also a way just to do it. And let's say you don't have your place value chart. Same thing. You see how they're the same thing? Okay, awesome. So I want to do this increasing order. If I'm increasing something, increasing means go up, right? So I'm going to start with the smallest and then work my way up to the biggest. So let's compare place values. They all have 3 in the ones column. They all have 0 in the tenths column. Here I have 2 5s in the hundredths and I have 2 4s. So my 4s are definitely going to be the smaller numbers, right? So I'm going to compare. Let's compare this one up here with this one down here. If you wanted to, you could put them right next to each other, just so you could be 100% certain. Okay, same. This one's bigger. have a 9 in my thousandths place, and I have a 0 in my thousandths place. So I know that that one is definitely the bigger one. So, sorry, so this one's bigger. So this one would be smaller. That's what I'm going for. Come on, Mr. Abbott. So this one's the smallest, 3 and 40 thousandths. So let's write that there, 3 and 40 thousandths. But we did write it this way as 4 hundredths, okay? The next one that I had then was this one here. That was what was second biggest, 3 and 49 thousandths. And then I have these two. I have this guy here and I have this guy here. Both the same, both the same, both the same, bigger. So this one's my biggest one. This one here is the next one up in increasing order. Sorry, working right now. 3 and 50, and then 3 and 59. Okay, putting them in order. Same thing down here. Just put them in decreasing order. I'm gonna line them all up. 6, 0.
Mr. Abbott, can you say that text, please?
Yep, you got it. Slacker, Mr. Ebb forgot to save his attendance this afternoon. Don't tell my mom. 6, 8. Cool. And then we can just line these all up. And then I need to find which one is the biggest and go down. Decreasing means going down, okay? So I'm starting big and I'm getting smaller. So look for the biggest one. Same. This one, this guy definitely right here, that's the smallest. There's a 0 there. So this guy's going to be last. I can cross him off. He's done for. These guys here. Which one's the biggest? This one right here, because the 8 is in my hundredths column, and he's the biggest. So this guy is definitely the biggest. And it's originally written as 68 hundredths. So there he goes. He's out. See you later, buddy. Which one is the biggest between these two? 608 is bigger than 600. So I have 7 and 608 thousandths. And last but not least, I have this, but it was written originally as 7 and 6/10. So I'm going to leave it like that. There we go, in decreasing order. Voila. Okay, line them up. If there's one thing you take away from this whole thing, it's line them up. Line up the place values. Start on the left, compare, going left to right. Okay? I hope this helps. I hope you're doing great on this stuff. See me with questions tomorrow, and we'll talk. Have a great day, and peace out. Peace out. What is this? 2006.